Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. The secret to job security is being your own boss, Perna. If you are your own boss, like I am, nobody can fire you. Sure, my family could starve when my business fails, but that seems like a mildly irritating side effect compared to carrying the honor of never getting fired. Now, I don't feel good about Vance Joseph getting fired. I'm not celebrating it. But you know when you wait for something to happen, when you really want it to happen, and then it does, and it just doesn't really fulfill you? That's how I feel. I think that feeling is also greed. So yes, the Broncos fired Vance Joseph. And again, getting fired, not humorous, but these two Vance Joseph Netflix memes made me LOL. And by LOL, I mean loving online literature. Memes are online literature. You got the choose your own adventure with the Bandersnatch meme, or Vancersnatch, or Bandervance, if you will, and Bird Box. Although I think the Bird Box meme is more appropriate for NFL officials. Vance is out, but Gary Kubiak may be too. According to Andrew Siciliano, he's on the radar as the top choice for the Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator position after they fired Steve Sarkisian today. That would be a great fit for Coobs, as Matt Ryan played very well this season, and the Atlanta offense had the most success under Kyle Shanahan, who runs the same shit as Kubiak. But then John Elway said Gary Kubiak will definitely be back with the Broncos in 2019, even maybe doing some offensive coordinating. So I don't know what the hell to believe. So today I'll break down this Vance Joseph firing, discuss some possible replacements, and honor Vance Joseph in a That's Good Sports way. That's Good Sports. It's New Year's Eve, so go ahead, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also, a word from my sponsor, Manscaped. I'm manscaping expert and legend Brandon Perna, and I've been growing body gardens for about 20 years now. And what I've learned is if you want the tree to look bigger, you need to keep the bushes trimmed. To do that, having the right tools is a necessity, and that's why I ditched these dangerous shears long ago and ordered my products from manscaped.com with the promo code SPORT20. That's a weird sound to make in a forest. Manscaping should be easy and convenient, and with the lawnmower, which is waterproof for easy cleaning, you can keep things smooth, avoiding turning your tree into a prickly cactus. These trimmers are designed to help you achieve the intricacy of trimming a delicate bonsai tree, while also having the power to mow down the bush next to the great redwoods. And even if you don't need your tree to look bigger, whoever you are, keeping a well-kept yard is the manly thing to do. It's also probably mandated by your HOA. So use my promo code SPORT20 and you will get $20 off your first order at manscaped.com. I'm a man. Now before I jump back into the Vance talking, let's just be aware that the Denver Broncos could look a lot different in 2019. Brandon Marshall, Darian Stewart, Shane Ray, Bradley Roby, Shaq Barrett, and Matt Paradis could all be gone. We will dive deep into those moves once free agency approaches, but the word that comes to mind is rebuild. It's happening and it's not fun. It's worse than when your video game doesn't autosave and you have to replay a really tough mission you already completed. That's what Elway's doing. Except unlike in a video game, how you complete it doesn't stay exactly the same. That's what makes it tough. And now let's highlight my highlights of Vance. Yeah, I have a nosebleed. It's either from the Vance Joseph news or from all the cocaine I did because of the Vance Joseph news. Vance Joseph has not been fired as the Broncos head coach. VJ stays. VJ sings for Vance Joy. Whoa. Let's never forget the people of North Dakota and Minnesota also love Vance Joseph for his portrayal of Mike Milligan in season 2 of Fargo, as I pointed out earlier in the year. You think I'm crazy? Well, just put him in Philip Rivers' clothes, give him a solid fro. No, that's a Jerry curl. A fro, please.
That's nice.
And he's Mike fucking Milligan. The real dead giveaway is the small gap in the front 2 teeth. What did you think of Brock Lobster's performance in his first game with you?
Well, you know, a lobster's got a pincher claw. and a crusher claw.
Nothing beats a good old stroll down Vance Joseph memory lane. Actually, a lot of things beat that. But Vance Joseph, he was not a good head coach, but he was also not as bad as we fans want to make him out to be. And seeing now that there are 8 head coaching jobs open in the NFL, he may have been fired in the worst possible year. The Browns need a head coach, the Packers need a head coach, even the New York Jets look like a better coaching destination than Denver. Not to mention the coaching staffs that accompany new head coaches. I'm not sure how season 8 of Game of Thrones will end, but winter is fucking here in Denver. And it's fitting that it also snowed today. Now, whether it's Game of Thrones in season 8 or the Broncos with 8 head coaching vacancies in the NFL, we will both be relying on a John to lead us out of the darkness. The thing that surprised me is the amount of hate I see on the internet for Vance Joseph, which I don't understand. I wanted him gone, but I didn't hate him. It's not like he was Josh McDaniels. Now that guy, that's a guy you can hate. That's a guy worth hating. Was Vance Joseph the problem? Not entirely, but he was a big part of the problem. He's also a victim of the Peyton Manning hangover. Mike Shanahan was eventually able to pull himself out of the John Elway hangover with the world's best hangover cure in Jake Plummer. Case Keenum turned out to be a false hangover cure, like licking sweat, drinking pickle juice, or England's prairie oyster. The problem is, when you have a hangover, you don't blame yourself. You blame the alcohol, or the bar for staying open too damn late, or your friend for having a stupid birthday, or that you didn't eat dinner, or that the dinner you did eat probably gave you food poisoning. When you have a very good quarterback, you can stay drunk for as long as you want and only be mildly affected by bad personnel decisions. But the Broncos don't have that luxury anymore, which means until they do, we will try and guess what is causing our painful hangovers at the conclusion of every season. Desperately adding bacon fat to our diet or eating bull penis, doing anything in hopes of curing our NFL hangovers. Bull penis actually thought to be a hangover cure, by the way. Now, metaphors aside, well, I hope what I just said was a metaphor. I really don't know what I'm saying anymore. The Broncos fired Vance Joseph after 2 losing seasons that included an 11-21 record, no playoff appearances, and 1 time of his life.
And here he is, having the time of his life.
He only won 4 games on the road in 2 seasons, and he went 4-8 against the AFC West, including 0-4 against the Chiefs, who were probably hoping we would keep Vance. Nobody spoke more highly of Vance Joseph today than Andy Reid, who said, "He's a really great guy. I loved his coaching style. I loved coaching against him, as I could always start game planning for our next game during halftime when we played Vance Joseph coached teams." After the game, Vance apparently gave an emotional speech that moved many of the players. Will Parks said he was crying the entire time during Vance's speech. Case Keenum got emotional as he said Joseph delivered a message that he will carry with him for a very long time. That message? "You cost me my job, Case. I will never forget that. And the second you let your guard down, I will end you. The second you stop looking over your shoulder, you're already fucking dead." That touching speech probably came a few weeks too late. And Vance is on his way to go be a defensive coordinator for the Bengals or something, probably under Hugh Jackson. Thank God we're not Bengals fans. We can be appreciative of that. So you kind of have to ask, why didn't Vance work out in Denver? Felt like he was Elway's guy long before he actually became a head coach. The year before he was hired, he was a defensive coordinator in Miami that finished 29th in yards allowed, which probably isn't a great sign, but the Broncos hired him anyway, and he won 3 of his first 4 games before everything went to shit. Vance's reputation was as a player's coach, which is good for keeping players happy, but it never seemed like he got the most from his players. Trevor Siemian was better with Gary Kubiak. Paxton Lynch, he was better with John Madden. In Madden. And one of the best defenses in the league was reduced to mediocrity at times. It's honestly still surprising he wasn't let go after the 2017 season, which featured a devastating shutout loss to the Chargers, 3 different quarterbacks, a negative 93-point differential, and an 8-game losing streak in the middle of the season. And that loss, the shutout loss to the Chargers, was the first shutout loss in 25 years. Then, of course, we found out after the fact that Elway had planned a secret coup, pronounced coup for some reason, that involved firing Vance Joseph and bringing in Mike Shanahan to become the head coach. Would that have worked out better than year 2 of Vance Joseph? Maybe, but I really have no clue. You don't have a clue. But Joe Ellis stepped in and ensured another year of Vance. And another year of Vance we got. That extra year of Vance allowed him to notch the first back-to-back losing seasons in Denver in 46 years. A loss to the Browns for the first time in 28 years. Basically, Vance set every coaching record you didn't want to set here in Denver. He's kind of like the Happy Gilmore of coaching records.
Hey, I got a hockey record. I took my skate off and tried to stab somebody, and I'm the only guy who ever did that.
Now, some of his biggest mistakes as a head coach came during in-game situations in 2018. Think back to the 2 bizarre decisions to kick early that probably cost Denver the game against the Texans, the non-challenge, and then the lost challenge against the 49ers, and then the decision to kick the field goal rather than going for it at home against the Browns, which probably ended up being the last straw. So the question remains, who will be the next head coach for the Broncos? Easy. You hire Todd Bowles as defensive coordinator, Adam Gase as offensive coordinator, and Mike McCarthy as head coach. That is the exact John Fox, Jack Del Rio, and Adam Gase triangular formula that got the Broncos to the Super Bowl in 2013. But I feel like even that elite formula is missing something. Oh yeah, Peyton fucking Manning, a goddamn quarterback. Actually, you need a head coach who's going to have health issues mid-season. John Fox, his heart valve went to shit. Jack Del Rio was interim head coach, and Denver went to the Super Bowl. The season after winning the Super Bowl, Gary Kubiak, health issues. Joe DeCamillis, interim head coach. That's the secret formula. So let's take a quick look at a comprehensive list of head coaching candidates, with the most important question being, how's your health? First, you have the head coaches that were just let go, Mike McCarthy, Adam Gase, although I think Adam Gase and John Elway get along about as well as John Elway and Mike Shanahan did. Maybe makeup sex is in the works there. Adam Gase is not coming to Denver, guys. Second, the potential first-time head coaches, Patriots defensive coordinator Brian Flores, who the Broncos will interview per Adam Schefter, Titans offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur, Colts defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, and then you've got Chiefs OC Eric Bieniemy, the former CU running back that's been calling the plays for Pat Mahomes in 2018. And finally, a guy I sort of like is another Chiefs coach, special teams coordinator Dave Toub. Thirdly, you have former head coaches that have been laying low, waiting for another shot. There's Mike Munchak, who the Broncos will interview again, according to Adam Schefter. There's Jim Caldwell, who looks like he can't wait to get another job, and Jim Schwartz, whose hand is reportedly still stinging from that Jim Harbaugh handshake. Also, Chuck Pagano is out there, probably in Pueblo, eating at his family restaurant, the Passkey. This time around, though, I hope Elway doesn't already have his mind made up. I think the way to find a successful head coach is to force someone to really impress you during the interview process, the way Kyle Shanahan, I think, did. But this time, you actually hire that candidate. I'm a big fan of Eric Bieniemy and Dave Toub because they could be great and they can help the Broncos game plan for the Chiefs better than anyone else. To get back on the path for success, Denver has to crush AFC West opponents. To do that, you either need a great QB or a defense that is so dominant it's like a tornado, capable of destroying mobile Mahomes twice a season. Right now, we will simply wait for new news to emerge. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't done so already. A lot of shit's gonna happen over the next few weeks, and I will be covering it all, that I promise, including all of the football playoffs. So make sure you come back every day as I'll be putting up new videos all the time.